onto the track now. 3 competitors in the women's T54 5,000 metres final, and it's a kind of an established talent, been around a long time, Gunilla WALLENGREN, as I was telling you, against 26-year-old Natalia KOCHEROVA. KOCHEROVA, who is 26 years old, 11 years WALLENGREN's junior, 10th in the 5,000 metres in Doha. Also a very talented skier who took a gold in the 2014 World Championships. So here's the lineup, and on the outside, starting in lane 3, will be the Russian Natalia KOCHEROVA. Silver medal last year in the 4x400 in Doha. As I say, 10th in the 5,000 metres. Here's WALLENGREN, 5,000 metres silver in Swansea, also silver in the 1,500 and a bronze in the 400, now 37 years old. And Akzhana ABDIKARIMOVA of Russia, silver in the 4x4 last year. And another one who skis, she competes and has competed in the biathlon as well. Skied for Russia, terrific all-round athlete. So 5,000 metres, European record, stands at 11:04.83, set by Manuela Schär of Switzerland last year. Hard to see anything approaching that here, although you never know. Starter just checking everything's right, visibly checking up. And there they are. They have to be behind the line, of course. Twelve and a half laps of the track. There you see the records. That's the best that's ever been set. It was by Tatiana McFadden. 11:04.54. McFadden, the brilliant American, one of the real superstars of IPC Athletics. She'll be going to Rio, I'm sure, with huge desire to sweep the board once again and show that she is very much the established star of women's wheelchair racing. And it's Gunilla WALLENGREN who's going to take it up as they come round through the lap marker. 12 laps still to go. And WALLENGREN leads the way. Tucked in second place at this early stage is ABDIKARIMOVA, and then comes KOCHEROVA. KOCHEROVA, the fastest on paper here. It's all about producing it when it matters, of course. She's had 11:44.55 this season, and she's just tucked behind into the slipstream of the lead 2. And the younger competitors content to let the veteran, Gunilla WALLENGREN, take it out.
A lot of Russian athletes seem content to keep their winters very busy by competing in cross-country skiing and also the biathlon. They've both been medalists, ABDIKARIMOVA and KOCHEROVA, in recent major championships, and ABDIKARIMOVA set a new championship record at T53 level in finishing 4th in the T54 200 metres final yesterday. KOCHEROVA, world championship gold in the mixed relay cross-country skiing last year, and also bronze in the biathlon over 12.5K, 5th in Sochi in the Paralympic Games in the cross-country sprint in 2014. WALLENGREN's been around a long time. She was one of those nobbled as part of that 6-athlete pile-up in the Paralympic Games final in this event, the 5,000, back in 2008 in Beijing, but very successful. She won the 1,500 at the European Championships in 2012 in Stadtkanaal, which was organised on a much smaller scale than this. And at the moment, everybody's taking their turn at the front and their turn at the back. The pace will be sedate, but you always expect that with a field of this size and a race of this length.
Yeah, it's about maximising your chances. And you saw when the early leader, the Swedish WALLENGREN, moved aside to allow KOCHEROVA to take it through. She also didn't want to lose too much of a momentum, and she kept up a decent speed as she just moved into lane 2. And KOCHEROVA, interestingly, wasn't exactly busting a gut to keep up a fast pace. She took it up, but I don't think there certainly was no injection, and now she decides that she's done enough, and she's moving aside for WALLENGREN to do her share of things. Third competitor here, the second Russian, ABDIKARIMOVA, far less talented in terms of pace that they've achieved. Kocherova, a sub-12-minute wheelchair athlete. Wallengren, best this season of 12:22, and ABDIKARIMOVA 13:14:53. And so far, she's done none of the pacemaking. I'm sure that the big two would like to see her shoulder a little bit of the work, and Wallengren takes it out in front, and they come through this time with 9 laps to go. Very difficult to tell at this stage who's going the better, who's going to have the real sprint finish when it comes to, and at what stage do they go.
She's a real long-distance athlete, Wallengren. She's actually one of those in the T54 that doesn't prefer to go in the shorter disciplines, whereas the other two in this, Kocherova, who's wearing the full sleeves, and ABDIKARIMOVA, who's in the vest, they were both in that 200 meters final yesterday. Kocherova winning it, taking the gold medal in her place on the podium. T54, the wheelchair racing being one of those events where it is possible to win a whole lot of gold medals, as we've seen from Tatiana McFadden. It is one of those events where it's largely the same faces who pop up in every discipline. And the world and European record both set in the same race last year, that Urban Grand Prix in Switzerland, almost to the day, 6th of June, when McFadden pipped Shah on the line. Shah was going to get would have taken a world record to beat McFadden in that. But it's Kocherova gliding through at the moment. Wallengren second, ABDIKARIMOVA in third. 8 to go.
You look ahead to Rio, and you always like to see races where there is the duel. I always think that great athletes kind of get defined by great rivalries, and McFadden and Shah is certainly a considerable rivalry. At the moment, Tatiana McFadden maintains favouritism, but the Swiss athlete Manuela Shah, who's elected not to compete here in these European Championships, sees certainly an athlete who at this distance is very capable of pushing McFadden all the way, and indeed moving on beyond that towards marathon level. But this time, moving towards the side once more, Kocherova decides that she's done enough for the moment. The white helmeted ABDIKARIMOVA has shouldered none of the pacemaking so far, and now it's Wallengren who takes it up once more with 7 laps to go. Meanwhile, back on the track with 1 jump remaining in the long jump, and what a battle that's been between the Russians numbers 1 and 2. Here it looks as though it is Russia against Sweden. Those are the 2 athletes for Russia. Of course, Kocherova and ABDIKARIMOVA, but Wallengren will have ideas of her own, and she picks it up once more. Number 679, ABDIKARIMOVA, tucked into her slipstream. ABDIKARIMOVA has not taken up any of the pacemaking duties. Got a silver medal in the 4x400 meters for Doha, in Doha last year, and they're going to be coming through next time with 5 laps to go. Still, hard to tell who is going the better. Is it Wallengren? Is it Kocherova? We anticipate it being between those two, but as we look at them there, they are split by the unfancied ABDIKARIMOVA, who's in second place, and no more than a metre and a half, 2 meters, not much more than that between the lot of them. That's the way it's been right the way through, and up they come now towards the lap marker, and she moves aside and once again allows Kocherova to take it up, and they go through now with 4 laps to go.
And Wallengren still, they're all together there, the 3. ABDIKARIMOVA's never had a major championship race longer than 200 meters, but being a biathlete and a cross-country skier, we know that she has the stamina. She hasn't done a huge amount of work up front. Kocherova's doing that for her. Wallengren, the oldest in the field at the age of 37, her first major championship, coming back in the Worlds in 2006 in Assen, where she finished just outside the medals in the 1500. But she's a really good long-term campaigner. Silver in the 5,000 meters in Swansea 2 years ago, as well as the 15. Perfectly tucked in the middle. 3.5 laps to go. Surely the proper racing will begin. This has been just the build-up. They've been trotting along quite neatly, and now Kocherova looking to move across. Who's going to take the advantage on the inside?
And interestingly there, Wallengren didn't want to know this time. She hung back. That's a bit of experience. If anybody was going to move aside and take it up, it wasn't going to be her. She waited to see if ABDIKARIMOVA wanted to do a shade share of the spade work, and ABDIKARIMOVA didn't want to know, and now KOCHEROVA is looking a bit uncomfortably over her shoulder to see where the rest are, and she will be perhaps forced into making some sort of authoritative move from the front. And WALLENGREN, if she's got the sprint finish, the Swede in third place, she may have them where she wants here, unless of course, looking at it another way, she didn't quite have enough left in the tank to take it up herself. But I don't think that's the case as they move round now towards what will be the finishing straight in a couple of laps time. They'll come up to the 2-lap marker. KOCHEROVA, the 26-year-old Russian, still leads the way from ABDIKARIMOVA. Then comes WALLENGREN. The race proper surely is going to unwind very, very soon.
And we've got 2 laps to go, and KOCHEROVA in the lead. She tried to move aside 400 meters ago and nobody was there. ABDIKARIMOVA at this level really wouldn't have had the experience to push through. Her lifetime best of this set this year of 13 minutes 14. The other two faster than her. WALLENGREN has played the cards very well, staying back in third place, mopping everything up, now beginning to make a move in the outside. It may be a clever stalking move. 600 meters remaining. She's ready and poised and in a position with ABDIKARIMOVA in second place where she feels she can maybe take her out. The big battle looks as if surely it will be KOCHEROVA against WALLENGREN. They're both looking at each other, and here we go.
It is on now. The burn-up is on. Tactically, WALLENGREN has got him where she wants, but at the age of 37, has she got the speed? KOCHEROVA, a good 400-meter performer. Same for WALLENGREN, and it's a Russian 1-2. And if WALLENGREN's going to win this one, the 37-year-old Swede, you sense, is going to have to make a move down the back straight. The young Russian, KOCHEROVA, leads from ABDIKARIMOVA. WALLENGREN poised in third, as she has been from 600 meters out. Is she going to have the strength and the speed to make her move? 200 meters to go, and KOCHEROVA around the final bend still has it. It's still the Russian 1-2, and WALLENGREN is moving wide to make her attack. Has she got the speed? And it's ABDIKARIMOVA. Oh, and there's a crash. Oh, dear, dear me. And ABDIKARIMOVA barges WALLENGREN out of the way, and WALLENGREN beaten there. Now, what are the judges going to make of that? Because KOCHEROVA comes through and wins it, 11:58.12. And second place, ABDIKARIMOVA, personal best for her. But WALLENGREN, fairly blatantly there, was taken out. Now, whether it was a conscious move of ABDIKARIMOVA to do precisely that, or whether she was just trying to move wide and make her own challenge, that's one for the judges to decide. But in that move, Gunilla WALLENGREN, her chance of taking the gold medal was lost.
Well, there's 2 questions there. Question 1, do they disqualify ABDIKARIMOVA and give WALLENGREN the silver, or do they determine that WALLENGREN had a strong chance of gold and was denied it by that ABDIKARIMOVA move? That was an incredible way for the race to end. WALLENGREN in a brilliant position out wide, and then ABDIKARIMOVA, maybe to defend silver, just shot out right in front of it. It's amazing. And look, it's the right hand.
That has to be indefensible. When you look at it in slow motion there, you don't see it quite as clearly from this angle, but from the angle we saw before, now you see, there goes the hand. She's got hold of her chair and pushed it physically offline. Well, that's surely got to be a disqualification, but where they're going to leave WALLENGREN, I'm really not too sure, because I reckon the way she was moving out, and she looked so fresh, she certainly had a chance of the gold medal there.
Well, we saw a controversial race, didn't we, at the 1992 Olympics. It was 2 Kenyans blocking off an Ethiopian. There was a lapped Kenyan runner who blocked, I think it was Richard Chilimo, and there was talk of a rerun, which never happened, but it reminded me squarely of that, because WALLENGREN had a great chance of victory.
Well, there, let's say it's subject to review, surely. There is a gold medal and a silver medal for Russia, and third place for WALLENGREN, 2 personal bests behind a championship record from KOCHEROVA.